Before I say anything else, I want to get this one thing out of the way. Someone once said that there is one person I know I would definitely see in a Faker montage, and it is not Faker. Well, I think we all know who that is at this point. Faker and being clutch, those two things almost sound synonymous to me, honestly. Throughout the years, he managed to achieve what most people would deem impossible. And I don't want to go on a tangent regarding this, but I really think that we are probably never going to see a player in the same caliber as him, at least in the context of League of Legends esports. Now, let me be clear, making a top 5, top 10, or whatever you want to call it, best Faker plays list is almost as hard as carrying the clueless players I come across every single night playing solo queue. And I'm pretty sure there will be lots of people saying, hey man, why did you leave out this and that play? And you know what, I'll totally understand it. Because I truly feel like the best plays at the highest level of League of Legends esports, which is the level Faker plays at, are kinda dependent on context and narratives. And oh boy, did Faker have some of the most interesting stories surrounding him ever since he first started playing professionally. So I'll just go over some of my favorite plays and the context, narratives, stories behind them one by one. Before I take you back to the good old days, let's start with something more recent. I wanna set the stage properly, just so you have a clearer idea of how important this play I'll mention by Faker really is. It is the Game 4 of Worlds 2024 finals between BLG and T1. The roads these two teams followed to get where they are weren't easy by any means. Even though BLG had a rocky start to the Swiss stage, coming into Worlds 2024, they were by far one of the favorite teams to win it all. I think even in the worst case scenario, most people would consider them to be the second favorite team to win, behind only Gen G. That really makes T1 and Faker's performance even more impressive, because they had to face both of those teams to lift the trophy when all was said and done. But enough with me yapping, let's break down the first play I'll be showing you today. It is almost 20 minutes into Game 4. While T1 does Dragon uncontested, Faker pushes bot wave, and BLG has a ward on their jungle, so once Honor enters that bush, Bin understandably backs away. Baron is going to spawn in about 15 seconds, the Dragon is down, and Ziggs along with Smolder on the side of BLG is pushing mid lane. So of course, Keria and Honor recall as expected, but Faker does not. I want to point out the fact that Faker enters that bush right at 19 minutes and 45 seconds and doesn't leave or base for 15 seconds straight. The reason for that is T1 has the Herald plus the Ashe Arrow ready for a potential play in the mid lane. Another crucial bit of information Faker has is both Smolder and Ziggs do not have flash available. Faker comes from the perfect flank to follow an Ashe stun. Unfortunately the Ashe ultimate misses, but Faker still goes in, perfectly interrupts Rakan's W ability, he follows that up with the stolen ulti so that he doesn't get charmed himself, and from there it is just Rocket Belt, Flash, then after everyone is charmed, Renata and Rumble ultimates follow easily to take out Smolder and Ziggs. I think the importance of this play, when you look at the game state, plus the fact that it was the match point for BLG, can't be overstated. If Faker and T1 didn't find an engage there, their chances of winning the game would go lower and lower as time goes on, because of those two monster scaling champions in Smolder and Ziggs. Now, let's go to the good old days I've mentioned. I'm really taking you back, cause this is one of my favorite plays from the times I first started watching professional League of Legends. It is the Game 3 of Worlds 2013 semis, and that is more than 11 years ago. Oh man, we are getting goals. It was Faker's rookie year and he was just way too good throughout the whole season. This series in particular went to a Game 5 as opposed to T1 stomping the finals 3-0. As you will see in the rest of this video, most of my favorite Faker plays are these snap engages he pulls off so well. So in this instance, T1 is being sieged under their tier 2 mid tower and Faker ults in with Ahri, charming the enemy AD carry while repositioning to safety with Flash. He comes back to finish the ADC, but what I really love about this play is how he manages to stay alive against the Renekton. Just chef's kiss, and so fitting to his famous nickname, Unkillable Demon King. I don't know how important you personally think eye candy is when it comes to esports, and what I mean by that is not just the substance of the play, but how cool it really looks. I personally rate it quite highly, I would say. So this next play is from 2022 semis against JDG. Do I even have to say they were one of the favorites to win that year as well? I think not. Anyway, even though this Shurima shuffle was set up so well by the rest of T1, namely by Gumayushi's ultimate rooting everyone, I just can't get over how cool it really looks. I love it, 10 out of 10, impressive, incredible, amazing, what more can I say? Moving on to another Shurima shuffle, and I know that you knew this play would pop up somewhere in this video. You are right to assume that, because this I think was the most crucial play in Worlds 2023. And it was so poetic too, because it was basically a revenge for Ruler catching Faker in the mid lane years ago. Like, I just can't get over this. Ruler is literally playing the exact same champion as well. On a serious note, if Faker didn't catch Ruler, they would most likely lose that game cause as you can see, they were struggling heavily trying to defend the siege by JDG with Baron. The flash predict was just so intense, and you can see how disappointed Ruler was from his reaction here. Honestly, I can't blame him. Overall, everything about this play is just absolute cinema, and makes me feel like League Esports is scripted, cause sometimes it is just too good to be true, you know? As I said earlier, I love narratives we have in esports, and the whole hype build-up leading into major international tournaments. Another thing I really love is these intense caster moments, especially when they throw out these banger lines they come up with.
It is not LPL versus LCK. It is T1 versus the LPL. And they like those odds as they move to finals.
Moments just like that come to mind. But there's another incredible play that got stuck in my head, not just because it is amazing itself, but because the casting is simply top-notch. Once again, it is an international finals, at MSI specifically. Faker destroys almost all of RNG in the Baron pit, and then RNG goes on to win the title that year, but still, this play has a special place in my heart for sure. It is no easy work knowing when to pull the trigger exactly in this type of tense situations, but we all know that is when Faker is at his absolute best. Even though I have bare minimum 15 more plays I wanna share with you, I'm actually going to keep it short today, and I will leave you with the amazing casting of this play.
Available for him, RNG, calling T1's bluff, and Faker finds them all! Dumayushi, Carrier, and Faker will not go quietly into the night! Form is temporary! Faker is forever!
I sincerely hope you enjoyed reliving these totally epic Faker moments with me, and if you made it this far, comment "he cancelled it" so that I know. And the last thing before I go, please do not forget to take care of yourself until the next time.